Hello guys, I'm Raj and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the fourth video in the Python tutorial series, and today we'll talk about data types and type conversions. So data types are very important in terms of what type of data can be stored in a variable and what is the range of that value. It also helps the Python interpreter to understand how to interpret a certain type of data that is stored in a variable and what are its related operations that can be performed on it. So Python provides us major 5 data types that are numeric, dictionary, boolean, set, and sequence. So today we'll mainly talk about numeric, boolean, and strings. The other data types we'll talk about later in separate videos because they are on their own. It's a big topic to be discussed together. So we'll start off with numeric. So in other premier languages like C, C++, Java, you need to define to the compiler that we are going to declare a variable of type integer or float or a character or a string or an array before n. So but in Python we don't have to do that. We don't have to do any of that process. We can just simply write a variable name and just define it a value. So Python will automatically know that what kind of what data type that we should that it should assign it to it, and what are the associated operations that can be performed on it. So Python does it all for us. So that's why it is considered as one of the slowest languages or one of the slow languages, so that because of this hard work that it is doing for us. So let's say I declare 3 variables a, b, and c with the values a equals to 10, b equals to 12.5, and c equals to hello world. And we have a function in Python. Second. We have function in Python which is type. So whatever the variable name or a value that I pass to this function, I can get the corresponding data type for it. So let's say I type of a, it will give me a value of int. So which is integer. So it is saying that the value of a, which is a 10, is an integer value. If I write b, it will give me a value of float. And if I write c, it will give me a value of string. So here str stands for string. So similarly, even I can even declare a complex number. If you guys have studied mathematics, you should know that there is a term called complex number. So I can declare a complex number by simply writing the value which is in the real part plus value which is in the complex part. Let's say it is 4, and the j for indicating it that it is a complex part of this number. And as soon as I run it, it will automatically detect that it is a complex number and it will display accordingly. So as mentioned in this example, that I have declared a is equals to 10. So suppose if I write a is equal to 10.0, then it will detect it as a float. So you can tell the interpreter that I want this type of data, or I want this particular data type for my data. So let's say if you only want a number without any floating point representation, so you can just completely remove that dot part, or if you want a floating point data type, you can just simply add dot, so that the interpreter will know that the user or the programmer is interested in getting the floating point representation of a number. So apart from these numbers and strings, we also have a data type known as boolean. So we can declare boolean variables by using or giving the value of true or false to a variable. So let's say I want to declare a variable a having a value of true and b having a value of false. So here as soon as I write true and false, the color of this text changes to green, which means that we are using a reserve keyword, and this is the right way to write it. This is the correct way to write it. So here I have it is an important thing to note here that the first letter of the word true and false is in capital letters, and the other thing and the rest of the characters are in the lowercase, because it is a reserved keyword and you have to write the exact same thing that is reserved in the language. Otherwise you will be getting an error of true is not defined or false is not defined. So you have to just keep that in mind. These are mainly used in decision makings and conditions. In the previous video, in the operators video, we have seen comparison operators. So that's one of the main uses of these Boolean variables. So moving forward towards type conversion. This is a very important topic because most of the guys will be using this type conversions in any of the projects that you are trying to implement, or even in competitive programming where you need to frequently change your data into multiple formats and do the stuffs on it, because one thing which is quite difficult in a single in a data type which might be very easy in another data type. So we need to constantly change our data types so that we can perform operations on it. So related to the basic data types, we have this 6 type conversions. We have others as well, but we will discuss in the later videos. So today we will talk only about these 6 type conversions. They are integer, float, complex, string, character, which is stand for CHR, and ORD. So I will show you a demo of all these type conversion methods. So integer, as the name suggests, it will be used to convert whatever the value that we passed here into integer. But there are certain rules that you should not violate it. Let's say I cannot pass a complex number to this integer variable for some sorts of reason, but I can even pass a value in string codes, but it should be a number only. Let's say I am passing a value of 234 in single quotes. It will convert it to the integer 234. Let's say I am passing a floating point number, let's say 15.368. It will convert it into 15 only. Similarly, in float, if I pass an integer, it will convert it to floating point number, let's say 1.0. If I even pass a string, but it should be a floating point number or an integer in text sense, then it will convert it into the floating point number. Similar is for strings. If I want to convert a number or if it is an integer or a float or a complex number into a string, then I can easily do that using this string function. There is one more function that is quite similar to the above three. That is complex. So it converts a number into a complex number. So let's say I'm just passing a single value which is 5, and I'm getting a complex number which is 5 plus 0j. So complex in mathematics, complex number is a superset of integers or real numbers. So I can represent any integer in a complex number sense by just applying a 0j part, or which is the complex part is 0 for any real number. So I can even write a float value as well. So it will convert 12.5 plus 0j. Let's just try for string as well. Perfectly fine. So it is also converting a string value, which is a number in string sense. So it is converting it into a complex number as well. So the last two of type conversions are a bit different than the above. So let's say I'm using this function CHR and I'm giving a value of 66 to it. It is returning a value of capital B. Let's say I give a value of 100. It is giving me a value of small d byte. So what is this small d and what is this capital B when I'm passing a certain integer to it? So it is giving me the ASCII character for a particular integer. So there is an ASCII sequence. I will share a link which will be pointing to an image of what integer represents what ASCII character. So you can just check on it. So there are ASCII characters which is represented by integers. So whenever you are using a CHR function and you are giving a particular integer value to it, so it will return a particular character based on that ASCII table. So these are quite even used when you are comparing a single character, or if you are doing a character based operation on it. Similarly, I can use ORD function to get the ASCII character or the ASCII number for a character. Let's say I'm giving ORD of A, it will give me a value of 97. Similarly, even I can check for operators as well. So if I'm writing ORD of plus, it will return me a value of 43. Even I can check for numeric numbers as well. Let's say I'm giving ORD of 9, it will give me a value of 57. So there are certain values defined it. You can just clearly check on it if you don't know the values. So that's it in this video. I hope everyone good health, and keep watching, keep sharing, keep subscribing this channel, and we'll meet in the next video.